What's up, YouTube? Wisco Butter Chad. I just finished putting the layer of fiberglass on the stem, and here it is. It's all covered in wax paper already, but I have a one piece of fiberglass. I took a piece of the heavier 8-ounce cloth and made one piece to wrap around, basically from right about here around to the other side, and then I put a piece on the top. So that's looking good. I'm either going to come back and start working around the perimeter on the inside, or I might slide it forward and work up the back side here. I'm just gonna do some regular 6-inch 6-ounce back there. I do want to let you know that we actually have a name for the boat now. It's gonna be called Nep'Toon, and it's gonna be spelled N-E-P''T-O-O-N. So Nep'Toon is the god of the mythical god, as gods are, of freshwater and saltwater. And of course there's traditions out there where you make sacrifices to Neptune or Poseidon. Those are the two mythical gods of bodies of water. I thought that it would be kind of funny for a cute little boat like this to have a name that reflects a god, right? Because this is a tiny little boat that's just for fun, and it's so cute that it's kind of like a cartoon. So the boat is now been commissioned as Nep'Toon, N-E-P''T-O-O-N. That will go across the transom. I love this idea. I floated it past Brittany. She loved it. I told my dad about it. He thought it was awesome. So the boat is now Nep'Toon. So I have just finished doing the back corners. Again, no real reason to video all of this, but because it's all the same. I mean, that corner's done the same way this corner's done, the same way the stem was done, and the same way the bottom seam was done. The back corners on the outside are done, so that actually wraps up everything on the outside of the boat. Next will be starting the perimeter and up around the benches. I might put a little bit of Bondo glass right there and over there just for a little extra reinforcement. This box is actually going to be filled with foam, with flotation foam anyway. Some people build that as a storage box. I don't ever really plan on being out on this boat long enough to need storage. So that's going to be flotation foam. If I need it, if I have to put something in the boat, there's going to be space back here around the batteries and then up under the front deck. So, I mean, the biggest thing I'll ever put in here is probably a cooler, and that will fit right in the middle. All right, yet another view. Hopefully my phone doesn't fall off the top of the garage door where I have it sitting right now. But I'm going to be working on the post up here on the inside. So I thought I'd go ahead and run the camera just to see what I capture over the next half hour or so while I fiberglass the inside of the post. And then I'm going to quit for the night and let everything cure, and then tomorrow I'll start working on the bottom seams. I'm just going to use 6-inch tape right here. And I'm just gonna kind of tuck it into these, call it crevice, I guess, as best I can. I'll use 2 pieces right about there. My last chip brush. Back to Ace Hardware again tomorrow. Yay. Alright, so it's kind of cool to be working inside the boat now. The post is already has a coat of resin on it, so I don't need to do any priming here. But I am going to put just a little dab at the top, just so the fiberglass has something to stick to while I start to work it down. There we go, it sticks. I'll just dab it the rest of the way down. I think before I do this, I am gonna go ahead and paint it all the way down. Even though it's already primed, just give it something to adhere to. I've got plenty of epoxy resin. Man, keeping this stuff in place keeps wanting to move away from this indentation here. Oh man, this hurts. Freaking knees. Ah, Jesus. That's about as good as that's going to get. That's just a hard corner to accurately get the fiberglass to lay down nicely. I will go ahead and put some wax paper on it. I don't know if the wax paper is really going to do any good, but I can try to at least eliminate a couple more air bubbles by putting wax paper down. Aesthetically, this doesn't matter as far as the wax paper goes. It is good to get rid of air bubbles. So here is the inside of the stem. You can see I wrapped the fiberglass around the post, and then it comes down that piece of quarter round, and then there's another channel inside here that I tried as best I could to get the fiberglass inside that channel on both sides. I'm not worried at all about aesthetics up here. This is strictly just for strength. Wax paper is simply just to keep the resin in place as it cures. That turned out all right. Earlier tonight, I put some Bondo glass around either side of the bench seat. So that's all cured. I will, at some point, I'll sand it so it's fairly smooth before I go putting 2-inch tape. So everything else, all the other seams, is going to get 2-inch tape. I said earlier in the video that I was going to fill this bench seat with flotation foam. I might rethink that. I might cut out the whole top part and make it a storage area. Because the more I think about it, I don't really know if I need flotation foam. It's not called for in the plans. It's just nice to have. So we'll see. I'm kind of 50-50 on it at this point. So tomorrow, I'll take the wax paper off the post, make sure that's all good, and then I'll start doing the inside seams. Today, I'm going to start working on the inside seams with 2-inch tape. I've already gone around the whole inside of the boat and cut out all the pieces. Just kind of laid them in their general vicinity of where they will be laid down. This shouldn't take all that long, knock on wood. This stuff wets out really nicely and easily. 8-ounce fiberglass. It's a little bit wider weave and it takes epoxy really nicely. And everything inside is already pre-coated with dried epoxy except for the top of the bench seat here. It'll wet out just fine. So I might video part of this, but I'm going to start at the transom and there's not going to be a very good view of it. So I think what I'll do is maybe put the camera back up there where I had it last night and aim it towards the front when I get to the front and go from there. Let's get to work. Well, I've got basically from the bench aft done, except for one little strip on the starboard side. But now I'm going to start working in this front area. I'm just mixing up 6 tablespoons at a time, just to be sure that I don't waste any resin. With these small strips, I just don't want to do a large batch and force myself to work extremely fast, because you've got about 8 minutes or so from the time you mix up the hardener to the time it starts to kick off. And I'm trying to keep myself from having to work really fast so that I can basically just work at a relaxed pace this afternoon. Because this is kind of tedious work and tedious work. If you try to do it quickly, ends up with problems. So I'm not going to work fast. I'm just going to relax. I'm listening to some music, and it's a beautiful sunny December day outside, about 32 degrees. I do love relaxing and working on a project in the shop or the garage or out on the water. Those are my happy places. Frustrating as projects can be at times, I absolutely love working on stuff. Making stuff with my hands, figuring out the problems, the challenge of it all. Love every minute. By the way, this tugboat, if you're not familiar with it, it's super easy for first-time builders. I have experience building airplanes and restoring boats. This is the first boat that I've built from scratch, though, from plans. And I gotta say, so far, everything has been super easy. Yeah, everything's easy to understand. It's just working out quite nice. Like I said, it's relaxing, for me anyway. Honestly, if you're watching this and you're thinking, can I do this? Trust me, you can. This particular project doesn't require any sort of previous skill set. It is super easy. If you can measure out and cut wood, you can do this. Even during these extremely frustrating times right now when my gloves are sticky, I can't get the fiberglass to lay down the way I want it to. Just move it around with a brush, throw some resin on it, let the weight of the resin pull it down, and then start working it with the brush. Some of this stuff can be really frustrating, I'll admit it. Gotta get new gloves. These are way too sticky. Alright, well, we already did fiberglass up here, but the instructions call for another layer of 2-inch tape. Oh, God, my 41-year-old knees and ankles are hurting. Yeah, my legs really don't like this anymore. This should be about the last batch I'm gonna mix up today, which is good because my knees are killing me. Okay. It's all covered. All right, so here's a close-up of the work that I just completed. All the seams around the inside, all the way up and down the stem again are covered. All around the bench, rear bulkhead, both sides. Off the transom, that tab will get cut off. Same thing on this side. This side's all done, that's done, and back to where we started. So, I need to open the garage door, get some air. Woo! Got the back door opened up to air this out. The fumes that come from this resin can get kind of strong in this little space. So, even though I do need it to be fairly warm to fully cure, I have to air it out so that the fumes don't enter the house. So
Is that all the mail you got?
Where's Brittany? That's funny. Anyway, so yeah, this is all getting aired out, and then I'll close the garage door again and warm it back up so it can fully cure. And everything's looking really good. Thrilled to have this part done and ready to move on to the deck. I think the deck is next. Step number 11 is the inside seams. Step number 12 is install the deck. So really excited to start doing that, and that will be the subject of the next video. So till next time, see you guys. Hit the subscribe button and shoot me some comments. Let me know if you liked it, didn't like it, whatever. I'm always happy to hear from people, especially if you're doing something like this on your own. So hit me up, hit the subscribe button. See you later.